Good morning. I'm Reverend Onyx. I'm the priest here at Lady of the Circle in the Oaks. Today is July 4th, and here in the United States, it's Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to all my fellow Americans. Today I'd like to address independence. Not national independence, but personal independence. In a way you might not have thought of it before. When we talk about ourselves and our situations, how many of us complain about what is going on around us? We complain about little things. We complain about big things. We have the independence of mind, the free will to change things around us. If something is in your life that you don't like, change it. Simple as that. If give you an analogy. If you're watching TV and a program's on that you don't like, what do? You pick up the remote and you click the button and you go to another channel. If you're wearing a shirt that you put on a shirt, you don't like it, what do? Change it. You don't sit there and complain about the TV show that's on and just run on and on about how it's so terrible and you have to sit there and watch it. You change it. You don't complain about how terrible the shirt looks. It doesn't go with the pants. It's not you. Change it. If something is in your life that you don't like, you have the ability to change it. Simple. Just like Nike commercial used to say, just do it. If you don't like it, change it. You always have a choice. You can choose to change it, or you can choose to not change it. Because remember, folks, even doing nothing is still a choice. Even just letting life pass you by and life doing you instead of you doing life is a choice. You're choosing to accept reality as it is, because reality is perception. If you don't like it, change it. I know I'm harping on that expression, but there's a reason for that. We need to understand that everything in our life is there because we allow it to be there. I'm not talking about some of the hard items that we can't get around, but not at least in this sense. I mean, if you want to get really philosophical and talk about such things like I like to say, how many angels can dance on the head of a pin? And we can talk metaphysical and philosophical, and I can discuss how we can change or why we can change everything in our environment. But I'm not going at that. I'm not going to that route right now. I'm not going that avenue right now. What I'm talking about is if your budget is off, you've got more going out than you've got coming in. You are not at the mercy of fate. Okay? You are not at the mercy of fate. Change it. Fix it. On the simple item of budget, think about it. If you've got more going out than you got coming in, there's a problem. If you like that, then there's fundamentally an issue in your worldview, in my opinion, but take that with a grain of salt. But if you don't like it, don't complain about it. Fix it. There are plenty of ways to fix it. You can lower the amount going out, cut away the fat from the budget, get rid of the stuff you don't need. If you don't have enough coming in to support the lifestyle that you're living, and you choose not to increase the amount coming in, then the best thing, in my opinion, my little humble opinion, is to fix the amount going out. Do you really need uh, Dish Network with 550 channels and 4 movie channels and all. Do you need that? If you don't have the money to support it, get rid of it. Do you need anything? I mean, do you need to have uh, a cell phone with unlimited data package and all the frills and everything, and you're paying for a home phone, landline home phone, where you've got international calling and all the bells and whistles there? Bottom line is, you can only talk on one of them at a time. Get rid of one of them. Pare it down. Lower the amount of funds that are going out. On the flip side, if you just can't get rid of anything else, if you've pared down everything else that's going out and it's still not there, still don't complain about it, because there's another side of the coin. You can fix what's coming in. If you're not making enough money at your job, well, don't complain about it. Work toward getting a raise. Work toward finding another job that has more income. Whether you work by salary or whether you work by the hour. If you work by the hour and you're unskilled labor, real easy way to fix that is stop being unskilled labor and go learn a skill, become an electrician, whatever, be a mechanic, or whatever you like to do. But if you're bagging groceries at Food Line and you're complaining about how much you're making, well, if you've got a skill, use it. Become skilled labor. If you don't have a skill already, or at least one that is legitimized or licensed or certified or whatever you have to be, depending on which skill that is, then go to school. Oh yeah, I don't have enough money to go to school. Well, guess what? Here in the United States, we've got the Pell Grant. We've got plenty of other grants available. We've got school loans available. There's no excuse not to create that environment for you. There's absolutely no excuse. Well, I work all the time and I can't go to school. No, not an excuse. If I can do it, you can do it. In the first time that I was in college, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, just facts. First time I was in college, I was a soldier in the Army. We all know how many hours a day that takes. I'm not going to belabor that. But I was a full-time student as well at night. I would go to work during the day, go to school at night. But I have a family. I had a family too. Well, I had a wife too. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. If you don't have a job, well, that's easy fixed. Get a job. But I can't find one. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The unemployment rate is so high. Well, guess what? You don't have to be one of the unemployed. I ride down the street here in this little old town of Lexington and I see 3 or 4 help wanted signs. But yet I hear people complain they don't have a job. Well, the employers are not going to come knocking on your door and handing you a job. It don't work like that. Having come from a management background, I'm telling you, I would never do that. Even if I had a friend who needed a job and I had the perfect position available for that person, for my friend, I would not preemptively offer that friend. He could be a true good buddy. I would not preemptively offer that friend the job. There's a reason for that. If you don't want it, I don't want you from a management point of view. So what do? Well, simple. Applications. Flood the market. I mean, just get them out there. Apply everywhere you think you could get a job. Even where you think it's redundant, it's ridiculous to apply anyway. And I'm not talking about sitting behind your screen at home, looking at all these work from home places and applying online and everywhere. Well, that is okay. That is okay. It takes a whole lot more than just sitting behind a screen, filling in name, date, address, hitting enter, going to the next one and go, oh, well, I did mine today. I applied. Now it's on them. No, it's not. It is still on you. Contact them. Call them. Harass them. Let them know you want the job. Because I'm telling you, the cream will rise to the top. I come from a management background, and if somebody harassed me all the time, one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to realize they want the job really bad, and when I have a position available, I'm going to hire them, or I'm going to hire them just to keep them from harassing me. Either way, you got the job. You win. Keep calling them. Hound them. You've heard the expression, don't put all your eggs in one basket? That goes here too. Don't apply to one place and call them once every 3 or 4 days to see if you've got the job, and then when you finally realize that they're not going to hire you, apply somewhere else. Here's the rule of thumb. If you want a job, realize that looking for a job is a job. You should spend just as much time looking for a job as you expect to spend working that job once you find it. Now I'll get off of that tangent. I can get on that soapbox and stay on it, but I'm not. But coming back down to my tangent that I was on before, you have the ability to change your environment. If you choose not to do anything, if you choose to allow what you may call fate to run all over you, then don't complain. You're allowing it to happen. You are in control of your life. You have the ability to change your environment. Now I'm going to talk directly to, a lot of people watch these videos that are not specifically on a magical path. But let me talk to you guys that are magicians, witches, weavers of our own fate. We are co-creators of our own universe. We should understand that we create what happens around us. We are not just along for the ride. We have made a conscious choice to take charge of what's going on around us. We have made a conscious choice to take responsibility for what happens around us and what we do, our choices. A conscious choice. We didn't come into this, we didn't get pushed into this. Let me kick it up a notch. For those of you who have stepped into the circle, and for those of you who have, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who have stepped into the circle, if you complain about something that you've done nothing about, consider your oaths. Don't complain about it. Don't complain. Fix it. You are the co-creator of your own universe. You always have a choice. Even doing nothing is a choice. I understand I've got a little redundant in this address, and I understand that I've repeated myself over and over again, but I'm trying to hammer home a point. I see this all over the place, everywhere, in every walk of life, in every field, and everywhere I go, I hear people complain that they don't like something. Most of the times, it's something that they can change. Well, I just can't. That's not true. Yes, you can. It's your problem. You own it. Step up to the plate, take ownership of that situation, fix it. Because if you choose not to fix it, if you choose just to allow it to happen, then I believe you've given up the right to complain about it. Because you've chosen to allow it to happen. You are getting exactly what you chose. So why would you make a choice and then complain? Oh, I think I'll have some chocolate ice cream today. Hard, I hate chocolate. Why did I get chocolate? I hate chocolate. Sounds silly, right? That's what you're doing. You're choosing to allow things to happen, and then you're complaining about it. Think about it. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox here. I'm Reverend Onyx. I thank you for listening to my rant. Take what you will. Let go of the rest. If you want to complain about what I got to say, let me know. I'll hear you. I'll respond to you. Take what I say, not with just a grain of salt, but with a block of salt. But if something I say strikes a nerve, strikes a chord, resonates with you, then allow it to grow. Allow it to grow, pass it on. Let people think, let you think, let people know. Start changing what you don't like. I've always said, or I've said for a long time, I can't say always, I've said for a long time that I don't want you to think like I do. I just want you to think. Engage. Use that gray substance that's between your ears. Use your head for something other than a hat rack. Dropping back to the old expression of mine is a parachute. You're like a parachute. It only functions when open. Thank you all for listening. Please pass this around. Share it as you will. Comment as you will. Do all this as you're led. Let this thought seed fall. Let it germinate. Let it grow. Let's see where we go with this. Thank you again. In all things, may you blessed be.